This is a presentation of Magnitude Sports. And now, the cameras are ready, the headset is on, it's game time.
All right, thanks so much for, hang on 1 second here. All right, we had some, I don't think you heard that on the broadcast, but we had some music going on going on in the background there that was kind of distracting us here. So LC Aris coming in 0-3-1, Dakota Fusion 0-4-0, and we'll bring in Eric Tiance into the broadcast. Eric, how you doing today?
Hot, but other than that, pretty good.
Yeah, it was 103 when I left at 5 o'clock to come here and set up equipment. I'm going to guess it's in the upper 90s, lower 100s right now. For the LC Aris fans, and as well as for the Dakota Fusion fans, we are on a little bit late here. As you can see, the game is not yet started yet. LC Aris had some vehicle issues with their bus on the trip over here. They got to the field at about 6:49, about 11 minutes before. And we didn't have rosters for the team, and went down to talk to the LC Aris coach, and actually I think it was one of the players, number I think it was Quentin Olson, number 18. No, I wasn't. It was somebody else. Maybe it was number 8. Well, anyways, I was talking to one of the LC Aris players. He was very kind enough to show me his phone to get the roster of at least the starting 11, but we don't have the full roster of all the potential subs. But so one of the reasons why we're delayed is the hard copy of the roster is on the LC Aris bus, and according to league rules, they cannot officially play. It's a mandatory rule that a hard copy of the roster has to be here. So one of the officials has called the league to see if we can even play the game today. And another thing that I do know is that the general manager for Dakota Fusion has received the text message version of that roster for LC Aris, and looks like they might be discussing an update right now, and we'll try and get that update for you. But what we know so far is that general manager for Dakota Fusion lives about maybe 6-7 minutes away from the field, and he received the text message version of the roster. He's going to go home and print that so that we have a hard copy here, and we'll see. And he's hoping that the league will accept that. So originally, I talked to the officials in blue, and they said we were hoping to get started by 7:10, but we're still in a delay here. So with that in mind, I know neither one of us, Eric, due to the situation and it's no fault of theirs, but we didn't have a lot of time to prepare for this one, like we did for our other broadcasts. But I don't know, did you get any research in on any of these on this matchup, Eric?
Well, I didn't get any research in per se, but I will say that if this game is played, one thing that I think I'm really going to keep my eyes on out is substitutions, because in a hot game like this, especially on that turf field, players I think are going to get a little tired more quickly than normal, and I think that whatever coach goes to their bench and uses substitutions to their advantage more, well, that might be the difference in this game, because look at the scoreboard, if you will. Yeah. Both teams without a win. So we could be in for a pretty even matchup, and X factors like that might be the difference.
Yeah. Well, tell you what, we'll take a commercial break here. I'll leave Eric on the mic so he can come out of the commercial break and chit chat with you. I will go down and see if we have an update on what's happening, and then we'll come back and give you an update as well. We thank you for remaining patient. I know some of you have commented saying, can't get YouTube to work. Trust me, it's working just fine. But we're on late, and now you know why we're on late. But we'll take a time out here. I'll let Eric take over the controls and the mic, and then as soon as I get back, we'll see if we can got another update for you here on Magnitude.
Hi, it's Dr. Tiffany Johnson from Healing Touch Chiropractic in West Fargo. What impact I want to make, how my office is different, how my niche is different. It is all about giving people hope and helping them believe that their bodies were made to heal.
Let me show you how your life can change through chiropractic at Healing Touch Chiropractic.
Looking for a new home? Make home happen by getting pre-qualified for free with Sean Carlson at Town & Country Credit Union. He'll help you find the best mortgage options for you and keep the process running smoothly from beginning to end. With a 97% satisfaction rate, awesome rewards, low fees, and great rates, it's clear why members love Town & Country Credit Union. Stop in or visit townandcountry.org to find out how you can become a Town & Country member today. Insured by NCUA, Equal Housing Lender.
You simply click and order. We decorate and deliver. GoPromo is the area's premier provider for easy-to-use online team stores with screen-printed, embroidered, and promotional products. From your computer screen to the bleachers, and from the boardroom to the field, just go promo. Visit justgopromo.com.
Alrighty, welcome back here to Moorhead, Minnesota. Jim Gata Stadium, the site here for this matchup between LC Aris and Dakota Fusion. Welcome back as we're still trying to figure out exactly what's going on down on the pitch. It looks like warm-ups are underway, so if I was a betting man, I'd have to imagine that this game will go on. Of course, looking at the time now, it's 7:17, so about 17 minutes after what the original opening kick was scheduled for. But regardless, looks like we're going to be in here for a game today, and that's always good to see. And I was telling Mike earlier, maybe not the worst thing in the world. Gives a few more minutes for that sun to go down as we were talking about the weather earlier on in pregame. I'll pull up the forecast right here and get some exact numbers here as far as temperature and maybe wind goes. I know, funny enough, we always talk about the wind, it seems like, these past few games as being a potential impact out here on the field. But now I think it's the heat more than anything. Right now, currently, 98 your temperature outside. It's supposed to be 94 at 8 o'clock, still 90 at 9 o'clock, and then 10 o'clock. I'd imagine the game would be done by then, but 86. So it's certainly going to continue to be a hot one out here. And as I mentioned earlier, those substitutions really going to be something to watch out for. I think these players might get tired a little quicker than normal. And those of you that watch other soccer leagues around the world, well, a lot of times in those hotter environments, usually they'll give them maybe a little bit of a water break as in the middle of the game, maybe usually around right before or after halftime. We saw that in the 2014 World Cup in Brazil. The heat in Manaus, it was a hot one out there, and there was a water break involved in that one. So we might be seeing a similar situation in this game here today. That'll be something to watch out for, in my opinion. And other than that, I think if you're the Dakota Fusion, as unfortunately, I'll give you some keys to the game. I only have some for Dakota Fusion because, as we mentioned earlier, well, not really a whole lot of information we've been able to find on LC Aris so far, but of course, no fault to them. But Dakota Fusion, you're looking at really what's been the struggle for them thus far, in my opinion, has been defense. You look at their first 3 games, 14 goals conceded. That's not exactly up to par by any means. In fact, I think that might actually be more, as I believe they've played 4 games now. They have, as I look at the screen, and I believe they conceded 4 in that one as well. So that would put them at 18 through 4 games. That's a little over 4 per game. I will say, though, that watching them over these past few games, they've at least had stretches where they look a lot better, especially in their midfield as well. Talked about it in the earlier matchup. I believe it was last week. They looked a lot more composed on the ball at times. Sloppy giveaways have been sort of a problem thus far for the Fusion, but I think that that's certainly fixable. We've seen flashes of it. And if I'm going to be honest, I think they clean that up, maybe get a few more chances and take some of those chances. That's going to be the key for victory for the Fusion tonight if they're going to look to snap their losing streak. And LC Aris got a losing streak of their own. And like I said, can't really give too specific keys for LC Aris due to not a lot of information on them. But I will say, I have to imagine probably more or less the same for them, as well as they at least have been able to salvage 1 point thus far, a draw. This season is a long one, but we're starting to get into the thick of it. These two teams want to turn their season around. It might be go time right here, and this, I think, is going to be perhaps the best game right here for either of these teams to grab a win. I think a draw would certainly be nice, especially for the Fusion, get that first point. But I will say, I feel like both these teams feel like they going into this one thinking they can win this one and perhaps put the first win in the column here.
All right. Well, I want to thank you, Eric, for hanging out. Did I miss anything cool, or All right. So just to give you an update here, as I'm trying to catch my breath too, went down and talked to the officials, and this game will be played today. But they cannot start it until the hard copy of the roster arrives. So the general manager, Sarj Gari of Dakota Fusion, is on his way to the field right now with a hard copy of the roster for LC Aris. So as soon as he shows up with the roster, the officials are gonna get the players checked in, make sure everybody is eligible, and then as soon as that's done, they're gonna get this game started here. So that's the update that we have. So we're gonna take one more break so I can continue to catch my breath, and then we'll be back after this here with more of your pregame show here on the Magnitude Sports Media Network.
In this place, we face obstacles like nowhere else. The clock, the trail, the hill, the challenge that's always waiting. When that challenge comes, we'll meet it together. Because it's your chance to show what you're made of. Tenacity, resilience, and the power to prove that the toughest competition comes from within. This is orthopedics and sports medicine like nowhere else.
Go Promo is your go-to for custom apparel, screen printing, embroidery, and hundreds of other promotional products. Put your company logo on a t-shirt, jacket, calendar, mouse pad, pen, or even a backdrop display for an upcoming event. Possibilities are absolutely endless at justgopromo.com. You can also easily set up an online apparel store for your sports team or business. Email or call Twyla, and she'll set up the store, set up collection for online payments, and even deliver your products packaged and ready to go. Email her today, Twyla at justgopromo.com, or call 388-4852. Go Promo. Consider it branded. Looking for a new home? Make home happen by getting pre-qualified for free with Sean Carlson at Town & Country Credit Union. He'll help you find the best mortgage options for you and keep the process running smoothly from beginning to end. With a 97% satisfaction rate, awesome rewards, low fees, and great rates, it's clear why members love Town & Country Credit Union. Stop in or visit townandcountry.org to find out how you can become a Town & Country member today. Insured by NCUA, Equal Housing Lender.
Hi, it's Dr. Tiffany Johnson from Healing Touch Chiropractic in West Fargo. What impact I want to make, how my office is different, how my niche is different. It is all about giving people hope and helping them believe that their bodies were made to heal.
Let me show you how your life can change through chiropractic at Healing Touch Chiropractic.
All right, welcome back. Mike Mason alongside Eric Tiansen. We are getting ready for a hopefully soon start. It looks like, is that a black SUV coming down the road there? That might be the rosters right there. If we can go to the right a little bit. Yep, I think he's slowing down at that stop sign. So let's see here if I can, there you go. Oh, no, he went by. So I know that the guy we're looking for is driving a black SUV. So we can tell you this thing, this cool fact, since we have extra time to waste here and not as much pregame material to fill that extra time. But our first broadcast on video here on Magnitude Sports happened in the summer of 2018. And it happened from that press box right there. And that was a softball game that is now a no longer existent softball field, but instead a parking lot. So, and we've done a few games here before, Eric, and I should have known that. I just didn't realize it until today. So there's a fun fact. Remember that one in case it ever comes up in a trivia question in the future. Maybe you'll win a prize or something. I don't know. But well, once again, we want to thank you for being patient. Let's go ahead and take a look at our YouTube here. Marcos and Davey, along with CB and Miss C, and the family growing up too fast. So, well, thank you for watching today here on Magnitude Sports. What we do know for sure is that this game is going to get started. What we don't know is the official time of the start. It was originally scheduled to start at 7 o'clock, and then LCRS had some bus problems with the extreme temperatures that caused them to show up really well. I don't say really, really late in a negative sense, because when you have problems, there's not much you can do, you know. But they showed up at about 11 minutes to 7. So I originally talked to one of the coaches for the Fusion, and I was like, do you know what time we're going to get started? And he was like, probably about 7:15. So then about 7:10 rolled around. I think that's when we went on the air with our broadcast, was at about 7:10. We chatted for a little bit, and then we got the update. If you're just joining us now and you missed the first part of our extended pregame show here, Aris, has problems and with their bus coming here. So the hard copy roster is on the bus, which is stranded in who knows where, somewhere on the interstate, I'm guessing. And league rules say it's mandated that a hard copy of the roster is needed for a team to play, and the purpose of that, and there's the black SUV, it just rolled in, so, and he is speeding through there, probably above the speed limit. But the hard copy roster has arrived, so that means we'll be close to playing time here. But the reason why they need that hard copy roster is it's a mandate by NPSL, and the officials just need to look at the roster and check everybody in and make sure that none of the players are ineligible to play. And without the hard copy of the roster, and you can see there that is Lino Cortez jogging up there to Sarge Gari. And now they got the roster, and he will retrieve it back here to the near sideline to the men in blue, and got to warm up my play-by-play skills there a little bit.
Biggest play of the game right here.
It's the play of the pregame show, and so yeah, that's what's going on, and we thank you for just hanging out with us here for the past I don't know, how long has it been now? About a half an hour. I don't even know, to be honest, but it's been something like that. So now that the roster has arrived, I would suspect that we'll be starting here very soon. They're gonna, like I said, they're gonna check in the players for LCRS, as they've already done that for Dakota Fusion, and then make sure they're eligible, and then we'll start playing. Here comes Dakota Fusion onto the field. So on our scoreboard there, we have kind of a yellowish gold for LCRS today. They're wearing the orange, and that might have something to do with the fact that the two teams have similar colors. So please accept our apologies for not having the orange scoreboard representing LCRS, as we usually try and match the jerseys there, but we didn't know they were going to wear the orange ones today. So we're going to take one more timeout, and we're going to get one more update here because we're doing double duty on scoreboard and PA announcing as well. So I'm going to go find out what the exact, maybe we don't need to do that. Maybe I can just stay here and watch. And when they line up, I'll just go, yeah, okay, that's what we'll do. We won't take another commercial break. So, but so here's and with the printed out roster, I think we might have some subs, but all I have written in pencil is the starting 11 for LCR. So until I get the rest of the roster, any subs that come in, I won't have identification for those players, but we'll do the best that we can here for you today here on Magnitude Sports. Starting in net today for Dakota Fusion is 00 Martius Bright, a newer player added to the roster recently here. And he'll be taking the helm in between the pipes there. And I used a hockey term there, but I didn't mean to. But in between the posts, I guess, is probably the better way to put it. And then I'm not sure who the starting goalie is for LCRS. Let's see if I can. Maybe number 5, Mateo. I have a first name but not a last name. Did I forget to write down? Let's see. I got a second copy here. Mateo Galetti, I believe is how you say that. And I did ask pronunciations, but it's been crazy here, and hopefully I remembered the pronunciations that were told to us. So we believe the starting goalie might be Mateo Galetti, and then you got Ernesto Zenzo, who will be wearing jersey number 1. Zach Turner will be wearing jersey number 2. Wearing jersey 8 is Darwin Carranza, and he's the one that I spoke to earlier to get these names, so thank you, Darwin, for that. Diego Arno wearing jersey number 9. Lino Cortez will be wearing jersey number 10. Juliana Roberts will be wearing jersey 12. Kyle Pollenberg, if I spelled that correctly, and therefore, as a result, if I mispronounce it, it's because I misspelled it, and I apologize, is wearing jersey number 17. Quentin Olson wearing 18. Ryan Lofer, 21. And Harvinder Koner, if I can read my writing correctly, wearing jersey number 24. And those will be your starting 11 for LCRS. Looks like we are ready to go here, as it appears that they're going to be lining up soon. So I'm going to let Eric take over the mic for now, and we'll be right back here with your starting lineups via the PA speaker here in just a moment.
Well, it certainly has the makings of a match about to start, as Mike mentioned earlier. All the players standing up now. Ample time to warm up here for LCRS as well, which is probably good news for them. Maybe that's the silver lining in not having their roster. It gives them a little bit extra time to just knock the ball around, get loose a little bit. You can see some of the guys jumping around as well. And I keep saying it, and I'm going to keep saying it, with that heat, important to stay loose and be stretched out. For those of you that tuned into the United States men's national team game against Honduras, that was actually also in a very hot environment, and a lot of players cramping up in that game as well. So it certainly happens on this pitch at all levels, and that'll be something to keep an eye out for as well.
Testing. Okay. We want to thank everybody for coming to Jim Gata Stadium. We want to thank you for your patience in waiting to start this game. And here are your starting lineups. And we'll start with the visitors on the scoreboard, LCRS. We're in jersey number 1, Ernesto Asenzo. In jersey number 2, Zach Turner. In jersey number 5, it is Mateo Galetti. Jersey number 8, Darwin Carazana. Jersey number 9, Diego Arno. Jersey number 10, Lino Cortez. Jersey number 12, Juliano Roberts. Jersey number 17, Kyle Pollenberg. And wearing jersey number 18, Quentin Olson. Jersey number 21 is Ryan Lofer.
And last but not least, number 24, Harvinder Koner. And now for the home team, Dakota Fusion. Starting in goal, number 00, Martius Bright. And the attacker is number 4, Diego Adachi. At midfield is number 6, Noah Runsvold. At midfield is number 8, Abbas Ajbadi. Also in midfield, number 10, Diego Valle. Starting at defense, number 15, Hussein Selek. Starting at midfield, number 20, Frankie Parkinson. Starting at defense, number 28, Kyle Blight. Starting at defense, number 29, Josh Thompson. Starting at midfield, number 30, Jacob Grossvenner. And your captain, an attacker, wearing jersey number 24, Aaron Pike. We ask if you could please stand, if you are able, and face the left side of the field towards the American flag as we get ready to play our national anthem.
And with that, we'll take a quick break and be right back right after this on Magnitude Sports.
Hi, it's Dr. Tiffany Johnson from Healing Touch Chiropractic in West Fargo. What impact I want to make, how my office is different, how my niche is different. It is all about giving people hope and helping them believe that their bodies were made to heal.
Let me show you how your life can change through chiropractic at Healing Touch Chiropractic.
Looking for a new home? Make home happen by getting pre-qualified for free with Sean Carlson at Town & Country Credit Union. He'll help you find the best mortgage options for you and keep the process running smoothly from beginning to end. With a 97% satisfaction rate, awesome rewards, low fees, and great rates, it's clear why members love Town & Country Credit Union. Stop in or visit townandcountry.org to find out how you can become a Town & Country member today. Insured by NCUA, Equal Housing Lender.
Luck to both teams in this contest. Let's play some soccer.
And we're back here on Magnitude Sports, about ready to get underway here between Aris and the Dakota Fusion National Anthem now in the books as we're about ready for the opening kick. You can see players going through, shaking hands to get things started off here. We went through the starting lineup earlier. One thing I'll note for the Fusion, I believe this is the first game back for Hussein Selek in defense. He served a one-game suspension after picking up a red card in the match prior to that, so he'll be a big boost to this Fusion defense. He offers a nice physical presence out on that back line, and we'll see what kind of impact he can make today as well in his first game back here on the pitch.
Yeah, Hussein Selek, that red card against Med City, a little frustrated. Something tells me he's happy to be back on the field, and we'll see if he plays as aggressive in this game as he did against Med City, if he kind of chills a little bit. So, once again, my phone is dying, so I don't know the exact temp, but it's hovering right around 100 degrees out here at Jim Gata Stadium. So, we are ready to roll and all that good stuff.
Well, it's funny you mentioned that. I checked temperature earlier, and I believe it. At the time that I checked, maybe about 15 minutes ago or so, it was 98 degrees and not supposed to drop below 90 throughout the duration of this match. So, and you can hear on the PA announcer, reminder to get hydrated, and it's a hot one out there, folks.
Well,
And a good start thus far for the Fusion in possession. They've been able to retain the ball for the most part. That one's going to trickle out of bounds for a throw, and Fusion will retain possession. So nice start for them. They've been knocking the ball around nicely and throwing in the far side of the attacking third. Let's see if they can get something out of here early on. An early goal would go a long way here for either one of these teams. Goals have been hard to come by at times for the Fusion thus far. I believe only 2 on the season. They scored 1, and I believe it was their first game and then their most recent game. But they've certainly had their chances as well and haven't been completely toothless in attack, just haven't always quite been able to find that finishing touch, and sometimes that's what separates those teams from being good or great. That long ball is handled easily by the keeper. They'll restart from their own back.
All right, thanks, Eric, for helping me out there as we had trouble getting the clock started on the field, but it's that is exactly right. What you see on your screen matches up with the field clock. So just into the second minute of play here, no score, and once again, a late start, but for those who stuck around, waited for us patiently, we absolutely applaud you and thank you. And whether you're a Fusion fan or an LC Aris fan, we hope that you enjoy today's broadcast. LC Aris will have it. It'll drop it back here onto the foot of Gallietti. And that'll be taken away there momentarily by Valet, but LC Aris will get it right back. Tough play, some rough play there, and the loose ball will come back here to Aris. It'll be Roberts who sends it over to the far side of the field here, and they'll move it up. And along that far sideline here, the defense for the Fusion will take it away, booted away there by Grossvenner. And now it's collected on the far sideline there by Quentin Olsen, out of bounds for a Fusion throw-in. So one shot for LC Aris. Once again, they're in the orange and Dakota Fusion the yellow, so please don't get confused by the colors on our scoreboard there. We color match it with the logo, and when the jerseys don't match the logo, that's that causes the confusion like that there. So just a FYI, and we appreciate your understanding on that. And a little clip there by Lino Cortez. And nice show of sportsmanship there, helping up Abbas Ajabadi. And I said his name wrong on the PA announcement, and I apologize to Abbas Ajabadi. Maybe it's just a broadcast mic versus a PA mic, and I'm more comfortable on the broadcast mic. I don't know, but yeah, because I seem to have no problems saying his name now. So. Okay, so I was incorrect about the starting goalie, but we'll find out who that is momentarily here as soon as we catch a glimpse of the jersey number. Throwing controlled here by the Fusion. And that's Selleck. Selleck sends it back out inside, and a quick tap out here to Thompson. And now a free kick coming up here for the Fusion there as the whistle will be blown on the contact there by Carnaza. And a through ball is up, and with the opportunity is Aaron Pike, and it's into the back of the goal. And the Fusion strike first. And it's 1-0 Dakota Fusion, and I think that's the first time that I've been able to say that all season.
Yeah. Well, that was an unbelievable ball off the free kick right there. That was served up on a platter, and who better than Aaron Pike
Your Dakota
to strike
Fusion
first
goal scored by the captain, number 24, Aaron
the
Pike.
leader, the legend, the skipper himself, Pike. And it's 1-0 here for the Fusion, and like Mike said, first time that they've held the lead all season, and they've got to be feeling good right now. They got that early goal. Now we'll get to see what their defense is made of, as for the first time all year, they'll have to try and protect the lead.
Yeah, and maybe they want to play more games than 100 or 98 degrees, I think is what you said a moment ago.
Yeah. No kidding.
Long ball there will be chased down on the far side there by, I believe that was Quentin Olsen. He'll send it back towards his goalie. Still trying to get the jersey number on the goalie there. I believe that might be, is that number 1 on? Can't quite see. See if we can get any action there. And he'll boot it out. And it's out of bounds, way out of bounds. Let's see if we can find out who the goalie is. It is number 1. So it's Ernesto Asenzo is the goalie. So now we can say something other than the goalie.
Yeah.
Which makes me smile because I like to be fair to both teams here. So Aaron Pike scoring the goal in the 4th minute to make it 1-0.
And I believe, if I'm not mistaken, the assist would go to Selleck from his free kick right there. And we talked about first game back from him. What a way to return a few minutes in, and what might end up being the pass of the game right there.
Yeah, definitely.
Also be interested to see now what this LC Aris attack is made of here, as they've got a game to chase, as they'll have to score 2 at least if they want to win, and of course 1 if they want to knot things up. They haven't had too much possession of the ball thus far, though. It's been mostly Dakota Fusion.
And they'll get in front, and the centering pass is cleared out there by the defense. They'll work it out onto the foot of corner, and now a whistle blows and a free kick here for the Fusion, I believe. And even I'm confused on that one. I think LC Aris thought it was their free kick, but I must have missed something, and LC Aris must have missed something. So
that's another dangerous spot for a free kick right here. It looks like it's going to be Parkinson, I believe, to take. And
yeah. Go ahead, Eric.
This is certainly potentially shooting range, but if not from this angle, especially if you're right-footed, this is a perfect time to try and put a cross in, whip that ball, curve it inwards, and see if someone can get their head on it.
Well, you see Asenzo lifting his left head and trying to. Oh, and Aaron Pike will put it. Oh, I thought he put it in, but he didn't. That was a beautiful fake out there as Parkinson ran up, stepped over the ball, and then Pike put his foot on it and nearly curved it inside the near post. But as I was saying there, you could see Asenzo putting his left hand up, guarding his face from the sun, and that sun is staring right at him in that particular instance.
Well, that's an excellent point you made, and maybe that's why he went for the shot. And I'm with you. There was a brief second I thought that one went in. That was very well struck, and Pike nearly with an early brace.
Well, they're working up the far side, nearly taken away there by Olsen for LC Aris, but Fusion will control it, and as soon as I say that, LC Aris gets the ball back. And now they'll try and create an opportunity as they work it near side here to Corner. Corner over midfield, 1-on-1, now 1-man, 2-man, and a nice through ball and back, and it's taken away there defensively by the Fusion. Selleck will boot it upfield, near sideline out of bounds for an LC Aris throw-in.
And already, talked about Selleck earlier, that's already his second what I'd chalk up as great plays in this game. Talked about it last week, just sometimes you need to be no nonsense with your clearances. That's exactly what he was right there.
Yeah, I want to give kudos to our third visiting team of the season that has easy-to-see jersey numbers. We made if you watched our broadcast of the Fusion versus Sioux Falls Thunder, you know what I'm referencing. So
absolutely.
We'll see here as that shot will get into the arms of Martius Bright. I'll go into the books as the second shot of the game, unless I missed one, but they have at least 2. So that's a 1-0 lead here for the Fusion, with the goal scored by the captain, Aaron Pike. As they battle forward at midfield, LC Aris will come away with it, working up the far sideline. Nice drop pass there by Pollenberg. And now the ball go out of bounds for a Fusion throw-in. They tried to get it in the area of Adachi, but overthrown and cleared away there. And now racing up on it there is Diego Arno for the, I almost said Fusion, but LC Aris. For those who don't know, LC Aris out of the La Crosse, Wisconsin area. So about a 5-hour trip, I believe, here to the Moorhead, Minnesota area, if I'm doing my mental Google Maps correctly.
Yeah, certainly an impressive trip right there for them to make it just right before the game.
Selleck will control it back here, and now he'll Pass it up there onto the foot of Schaefer. No, check that. That was Ajabadi. I have to write that one down now that Ajabadi. Okay. I got it. And now I hope he scores a goal so I can say his name correctly over the PA speaker. So
yeah, have a shot at redemption right there.
And that's no disrespect to LCRs. We wish the best of luck to both teams here. I just want my little chance at redemption there. So maybe he'll get a yellow card, or better yet, for LCRs fans, maybe he'll get a red card. And there, now I'm even. Now nobody can be mad at me. So. Centering pass there, a little back heel pass, and I believe that was Pike who put it up, but it was deflected there off the foot of that middle defenseman. It couldn't quite catch the jersey number on him. And now Aris will control it here. It's Arnold, and Arnold will pass it away. They'll get it back onto the foot of Carnazza. Carnazza will send it to the near sideline here for Kohner. Kohner will look for some space, survey, dish it back inside there, and trying to make a move around the defender is Arnold. And a collision there, and looks like we'll have a free kick. And trying to plead his case there with the official was Jacob Grossvenner, and free kick awarded from 40 yards out. I guess if Grossvenner did have a case to plead, the best case scenario is that it's not any closer than 40 yards from the free kick area here. But
yeah, he might have. I don't know how strong of a case he had right there. At least from up here, it looks like he got a decent amount of shoulder into that challenge.
Yeah. Pollenberg will chip it into the goal box where it's headed away there. And then it's controlled by Kohner. And now it's delivered into the stands there off the foot of the Fusion's Josh Thompson. It'll be dumped inside, and it'll be picked up there by Parkinson. Parkinson will toss it up here for Aaron Pike, who has the goal, and nearly a second goal off a free kick. He feeds it inside now here for Parkinson. Parkinson will drop it back onto the foot of Thompson. Thompson pushes it into the middle of the field, and now another drop back here to Selleck. And Selleck will drop it back even further here in the Fusion, working the ball the long way towards the goal to the switch fields to the other side, and they'll try for an attack from the far side here. And the through ball, and he was trying to stay on sides, and nice job there by Josh Thompson. He realized he had about a quarter of a step in front of that last defender, and he did not go after it because that would have drawn the flag in the offside. So play will continue. Not that the clock would have stopped anyway, but some nice field awareness there by the Fusion.
Absolutely. That's a very savvy move right there. They didn't quite get the ball in that maybe they had hoped, but hey, if you're an attacker, you always got to be in a mindset that, hey, maybe the ball takes a weird bounce, a bad deflection, and you're in a position to score, but if you don't make that run off right there and you're flagged off sides, that can be crushing for a team. So even though it didn't go their way right there, that's a smart play to say the least.
I'll set up the free kick here. Let's see, he's going to take it back a little ways. Be about 55 yards out for number 5, Matteo Galletti. Galletti will put the right foot on it, and he'll put it on a one-hopper right into the hands there of Bright. Bright doing a good job of judging where that ball was going to bounce to make sure it didn't bounce over his head. I've seen that happen a few too many times, and one time it happened in a state championship game. So
man.
Don't want that to happen in a 0-0 game in a state championship. And the ball goes over your head, and that's the only goal scored in the game. That one sticks with you for a while. And here's a chance for Pike, and no offsides called, and Pike will put it on, and a nice diving save there by Ascenzo.
Yeah, you could see the hands being raised right there. Appeals for offsides, but it looks like he timed his run right. Just couldn't quite catch it with the right part of his foot right there, and that ended up being, won't say easy work, but easy enough work right there for the keeper.
You have to wonder if the bus delay for our LCRs is playing any kind of mental disadvantage here, because Fusion looks sharp in this first half so far here.
That's a good point. I didn't even consider that. It certainly looks like the Fusion are the sharper of the two teams right now. It's been night and day this game between their last previous few games that we've seen. They look sharp on the ball. They've looked creative in spaces. They've really impressed me with their passing thus far, and they've gotten a goal to show for it so far. And I think, in a neutral opinion, just based on how these two teams are attacking, a deserved lead for the Fusion, 1-0.
And we'll have a momentary pause in the play here as we have an LCR's player slow to get up. As I'll give the opportunity for the players to get some water here. And see, couldn't quite see who that was, but looks like it was number 22, 21, 2, Zach Turner. And he will... The good news is he's coming off on his own power with no assistance. The bad news is hobbling a little bit. So hopefully it's nothing serious. He can shake it off and get back into this game here sooner than later. So once again, we are in the 15th minute here. I'm guessing we'll have, I don't, on a 100-degree day, I don't know if water goes into stoppage time or not. I would guess maybe it does, but right now I'd say we have about 2 minutes of stoppage time. So we'll see if our mental additions throughout the progression of the first half matches up with what the official signal with to us here in the next 20 minutes or so. So 22 minutes, I believe, would put us in the... I keep forgetting there's an extra 5 minutes in the Fusion halves than there are in the... So just before the halftime, let's put it that way.
Yeah.
So, I don't want to sit there and try and do my math too frequently, so.
Well, yeah, as I mentioned in pregame a little bit, we've seen water breaks before in hot soccer games, and if I remember correctly, they usually do factor that into stoppage time, so don't be shocked if we see one here in this first half and second half as well. Maybe even if there isn't an injury we've seen before, the referee will just blow maybe during a dead ball or something for a chance to get these players hydrated, but between that and hopefully not any injuries, as it looks like he's back up on his own power on the field as well. So good to see Turner back out there.
Oh, definitely, especially that quick of a turnaround. So could have fooled me there for a split second. I thought it was a throw-in. It kind of looked like a throw-in, a free ball to the LCRs. LCRs will control it nonetheless, and chipping the pass up towards the far side there was Lino Cortez. Closest player to it for Aris was Kyle Pollenberg. And I'll go out of bounds for a Fusion throw-in. I don't know about you, Eric, but or maybe it's just because I have both doors open and we get straight through air circulation, but it seems to have cooled down slightly, but my guess is it's not that cool on the field right now.
Yeah, well, especially with that turf.
That one was a pass intended there for Pike, but it got deflected out of bounds. Now I think that's going to set up a corner kick from the far corner here for the Fusion. So once again, 1-0 here on the Sean Carlson Town and Country Credit Union scoreboard. Goal scored by the captain, Aaron Pike, in the 4th minute. Excuse me, I got the hiccups there. In the 4th minute of play. And now the corner kick will come in, and Selleck will get his head on it, but he will not be able to direct it the way he was hoping. He'll go out of bounds for an LCR goal kick. So Senzo will send it over to the far side. Couple touches later, it's controlled there by the Fusion. So they try and pass it out. I believe that might be Adachi on the far side. Adachi will center it in, and racing in on the attempted header there for the Fusion. I want to say it was Parkinson, but I'm not sure until he turns around and I see his jersey number. But another great opportunity there for the Fusion. So they now have a total of 5 shots on goal to just 2, I believe, for Aris. Yeah, our scoreboard says 2 anyway.
And I think you'd have to say that probably most of the quality chances thus far have gone to the Fusion. You mentioned 2 shots for LCRs, but overall they haven't really challenged the keeper that much.
True, yeah. That's Grossvenner. And he'll feed it up to Adachi on the far side. Adachi has a one-on-one there with Roberts. Adachi trying to get around Roberts, now gets around a couple other defenders, and some nice footwork there. And Adachi still has it, and he feeds it onto the foot of Parkinson, and that's going to be saved there by Asenzo.
That was phenomenal right there from Adachi. He dribbled around those defenders. Instead of orange jerseys, looked like they might have been orange cones.
Yeah.
Phenomenal footwork and skill, and teed up a nice little opportunity. Couldn't quite connect on it, but that just goes down as another good chance for the Fusion right there. But now they got to be careful as they keep getting these good chances. I have to reckon they might want to take another one of these soon, maybe see if they can go up 2-0, because if not, it's only a 1-goal game, and LC Aris is hanging around right there.
Definitely, and with a nice defensive play like that to keep the ball on the offensive side of the field. Tried to feed it here onto the foot of Loafer, but it was intercepted, and now the Fusion will work it back the other way, and a nice slide tackle there out of bounds by the defenseman Ryan Loafer there for LC Aris, and nice defensive play to temporarily stop that Fusion attack on the far side.
Yeah, nice is about as perfect of a way as I could put it as well. That was brilliantly timed, get it out of bounds, and it looks like we'll have a chance to reset and maybe substitution as well.
Number 14 is not on my roster. I didn't get a full version of the roster there for LC Aris, and if you're joining us in your pregame show, then you've heard the story behind that, but we wish number 14 the best of luck in this game, and I wish I knew his name. But if you're an LC Aris fan watching on YouTube and you know who number 14 is, feel free to tell us in the chat, and I'll write it into my roster. I would certainly appreciate that.
Well, it looks like it was Roberts who he came on for. So Roberts, who I believe, actually I'm looking, don't exactly know the position at least based on my roster, but certainly the build of a defender, and it looks like he'd been in the back. So maybe a substitution in the defense for LC Aris early on in this one.
Pike will work it up there onto the foot of Valet. And Valet trying to get around the defender, and no whistle there, and it'll go out of bounds, and I believe that's a corner kick, and it is.
Now we'll get to see how LC Aris will defend this corner with a new man out in defense. They lose a lot of size in Roberts. When I was watching the national anthem and the players lined up, Roberts towering over them all. But they won't have to worry about a headed opportunity right there, as that one is out of bounds. It'll be a goal kick for Aris. LC Aris, I should say.
And that's a nice goal kick all the way up to midfield, headed back there by Grossvenner. And now picking it up there for the Fusion is Valet, and he puts a shot on that's saved by Asenzo.
That was a good save by Asenzo right there. Those low shots can be harder to save than they look. I might have actually mentioned this in an earlier game, but you talk to a lot of goalies and they'll say those low ones are usually the toughest ones in their opinion. But nice work right there by Asenzo. He went down, made sure there was no rebounds for any of those other attackers to clean up either.
Well, I would. I played backup goalie in high school, and I would have to agree with that statement there, Eric. I 100%. It's much easier to track down one that's coming at you at high speeds in the air than it is to get a little roller on the ground. And
well, absolutely, that's more or less what, at least from the ones that I've heard, not even ones that I've personally talked to, but you just watch interviews. Yeah, they pretty much echo your sentiments right there. So
yeah,
there you go. The more you know, and didn't know used to be goalie. That's pretty awesome.
Oh yeah, no, I was like I said, a backup goalie. I tried it for a couple of games, and then I was a little hesitant, and the coach let me try it more in practice, and then he realized in practice that I should not be the starting goalie. So it's a good thing he discovered that in practice and not in the game. So I'm much better at midfield or attacker. So
there you go. I was a midfielder myself back in my quote-unquote heyday.
And that one going all the way across the street to the the Moorhead Sports Complex. As we return to action here on the field, Fusion working the ball. That's Pike getting around Turner. And now Selleck will send it up. And he is onside. That's Aaron Pike. He was in front of the defender, but Matteo Galati, I keep saying his name wrong, Gaglietti, was further down the field, so that made Pike onside. And now throwing from the far side here for the Fusion, and they're in a position here where they can create another opportunity for themselves here. That was nice job there by Senzo to he'll boot that one away. Nice spinning ball across midfield, headed back and chested down there on the far side by Noah Runsvold. Now they'll work it through the middle here, and they'll be picked up by Grossvenner. Oh, check that, Thompson, excuse me. Back to Thompson. Thompson sends it across to Grossvenner. Grossvenner surveying, and he tried to send a through ball through there that was picked off by Aris. And they'll work it to the near side here onto the foot of Koner. And Koner will send it inside to the mystery player. Miscontrol it there. It was Thompson to get it back to Selleck. Selleck will center it into Grossvenner. Grossvenner will switch fields to the opposite side. Tried to send it up there, but LCRs took it away. And now they're going to have an opportunity here. It's Diego Arno. And now the shot is blocked off the foot of, I believe that was Carzana who took the shot. But the shot was immediately blocked the moment it came off his foot.
That was close right there for the Fusion, too. Obviously, I don't have quite as good of a view of the play as the referee does, but certainly close right there. The Fusion nearly maybe giving up a foul in what would have been a dangerous spot, but I'd say the referee's been pretty consistent so far, letting both sides play a fair amount.
Some contact here at the near sideline, out of bounds, and I believe that will be an LCR's throw-in, and it appears that will be the case.
And case in point right there. Now, a little more physical play, the referee letting go, and I said this before and I'll say it again. I seem to enjoy that a little bit more when there's not constantly whistles interrupting play. Obviously, can't let the game lose control, but I'd say these referees that we've had here for the most part have done a good job this season letting the game come to them and really only blowing the whistle when they have to.
And Adachi doing an outstanding job of getting by defenders that most players wouldn't have a chance to get by. I don't know if you saw what I saw there, Eric, but that was pretty impressive on the far sideline there by Adachi, as LCRs will drop it back to their goalie, Senzo, and Senzo will put it onto his right foot, and he'll deliver it over to the far side.
Yeah, Adachi, that's now twice he's been pretty impressive with his dribbling thus far. He's been kind of a spark plug for this side and drawing some oohs and ahs right here from the booth.
A nice takeaway there by the Fusion. They'll feed it up there to Valet. Valet sends it back inside here for Parkinson. Parkinson up. Valet sends it off the post. Or was he offsides? He was. Yep, the flag came up on the far sideline and he was offside. So that won't even go into the books as a shot.
There's that post again. I've started to lose count how many times that post has been hit here at Jim Gata Stadium. We've seen it a fair amount between a lot of our games here, and add another one to the collection.
Yeah, definitely. We might have to start a highlight reel of shots that hit the post because we don't have a lot of goal highlights to work with at the moment. So
yeah.
But Aaron Pike has one that we can work with, and they scored one against, on opening day, I forget who they played, but they lost 4-1, I believe it was. Joyce St. Louis Park, I believe. And then they would fall on the road to Minneapolis City 6-0. And then they would have their first home game, and they would fall, I believe that was a 4-0 game against Mid-City on their home opener here at Jim Gata Stadium. And then most recently a 4-1 loss to the Sioux Falls Thunder. And now they have a 1-0 lead here against LCRs. And that's been the season recap. And offsides is Pike, and I would agree with that, even though Pike wants to pretend that he wasn't. he did have a couple feet in front of that defender, so that was a good call by the far side official there. And if you're ever wondering where that last defender is standing, you just look at the far side official. Far side official will not come anywhere past midfield, and he will go as far back as the last defender, and the goalie does not count for those who are not familiar with the rules of soccer. Or some of our faithful would like to call it football. And I'm cool with either term. I like them both. This time he's not offsides. He's surveying, looking for an opportunity here, trying to get around the defender. Left-footed shot is blocked there by Senzo. Comes out, and it'll be Koner who'll have a chance to clear it out.
That's another good save for Senzo right there. I think he's been pretty sturdy thus far between the posts, and add another one to the catalog right there. Nice stop.
Nice feed inside there. That's Arnold. And Arnold nearly couldn't quite make the turn. Had to chase the ball out to the far side. And now they'll have a little bit of work to do from the far side to get it back in here. It'll be stopped and contained there by Cortez. He sends it over to Carazana. Now they'll drop it back as Ryan Lofer touches up on it. And now it's deflected out by a Fusion player for an LCR's throw-in. Well, you know, if this game were to end in a tie, this is just a hypothetical scenario here, but I think our player of the game would go to Sajid Gari, because if it wasn't for him, we wouldn't be playing right now, speeding up in his black SUV to bring a league authorized roster. And that was the reason for our delayed start here on this one. Of course, head coach Jonathan Melendez having a rough couple days here as coach. Got a late start on this game here, and then his high school team, he's the head coach for the Cheyenne Mustangs, played in a semifinal match in the North Dakota State tournament up in Grand Forks last night. The semifinal match prior to theirs was delayed by 90 minutes due to weather. His game didn't get started until 10:17, and I know this for sure because I talked to him as we have another water break coming up here for the two teams. So their game started at 10:17. It was tied 0-0 at the end of regulation. They went into the first overtime with 39 seconds remaining in the first overtime. The lights went out at the stadium because they were programmed to go out right at midnight. So the game had to be paused, tied 0-0 with 39 seconds left in the first overtime until they could get the lights back on. Everybody in the everybody in the stands turned on their lights on their phones. They were singing Sweet Caroline. It was kind of cool. Matter of fact, if you follow us on Twitter, Magnitude SN is our Twitter handle. You can see that. It's only a couple tweets down on our Twitter profile. And so they got the lights back on, and then the 39 seconds would elapse. The game would go into a second overtime, and they would fall short in that one. The game ended at 12:47 a.m.
Oh, my goodness.
They had to play at 10 a.m. that next morning.
Oh, my goodness.
So they had to play at 10 a.m. this morning in Grand Forks, and now head coach Melendez is down here coaching the Fusion at 7:30, 8 o'clock, whatever time, 8:13 is what it is right now. So
3 games in less than 24 hours. You have to imagine he certainly loves what he does.
Yeah, definitely. But I have to admit, I wish I was at that game last night. A game that starts at 10:17 and ends at 12:47 in the morning, and those exact times from the face-to-face conversation with Jonathan Melendez. And we want to give a shout-out to Jacob Anderson, who is recovering from that long night, and we are handling the PA and scoreboard for Jacob here so he can get some rest.
It's been busy for him, too, I'd imagine.
So it's a team effort here with Magnitude and Dakota Fusion today, as Eric and I have the play-by-play color camera, on-screen scoreboard and clock, and we're also working the field scoreboard and clock. And somehow it's right on. That's amazing. So I'm not 100% sure what we'll have for stoppage time coming up here, but I'm going to guess it's in that 5-minute area right now. And the cool thing about stoppage time is if we put the wrong one up there, everybody knows that it ends when the whistle's blown. So
Yeah.
if I put 5 and it ends up being 6 or 7, it ends when the whistle blows. So we enter the 36th minute. And that free kick headed defensively there. And now turn it around, and that one's taken away as he almost broke through the defense to create an opportunity here. And now the Fusion will work it up. They got a 3-on-3 with a couple trailing. And nice defense there by Ryan Loafer for LC Aris to keep that one away as they'll break through everybody and get back to Asenzo. Asenzo put it up towards midfield, where it's chested down there by Arnold. Arnold will fight for it there alongside, I believe, Parkinson. No, check that. That was Josh Thompson. Thompson will catch up to it here right before the end line, and he'll look for a possible centering pass. He'll put it in. It's chipped away right at the top of the goal box. Can he get a shot on? No, he'll pass it out. And I think the pass there from Parkinson, which was intended for Josh Thompson, I don't think Thompson was expecting that pass, because you could kind of see him put his hands on his knees there like, man, if I would have known, we might have had a goal there. So
Yeah, excellent point right there.
Well, LCR is almost taken away, but the Fusion get it right back there as Abbas Ajabadi had it for a moment. Now they'll drop it back here. Grossvenner will tap it back to his teammate on the far side as they work it back up there to Aaron Pike, the goal scorer here for the Fusion. Pike to Adachi, and now Adachi with a chance to put on his dribbling skills. He'll wait a little bit on that as he'll pass it away. A couple touches later here, it's Josh Thompson who picks it up for the Fusion. He has 2-man on, and breaking through there for the Fusion was Runsvold. And Runsvold trying to weave through defenders. That shot was slightly deflected, which allows LCRs to temporarily stop it. Now Runsvold will work around the defender, and lucky he didn't get tripped up there as he'll tap it into the hands of Asenzo. Nice clear upfield there by Thompson, but that'll be right in the direction of Asenzo. And
yeah, you could maybe, I don't know if the microphone could pick that up, but you could hear coaching staff and the bench yelling at him right there to step up. They're yelling at Josh, and nice advice right there. He took it and cleared it out of harm's way.
Selleck will work it inside to Ajabadi. Ajabadi outside here now for Thompson. Thompson back to Selleck. Selleck, I believe that's Grossvenner. And approaching Grossvenner is Arnold. And now a couple touches later, it's back to Thompson. Thompson will work it up in the direction of, I believe that's Selleck. No, Ajabadi. Ajabadi with a little bit of green. He'll work it inside there onto the foot of Valet. Valet will send it towards Asenjo, and he will stop it. Unofficially 9 shots for the Fusion compared to just... Is it really just 2, or did I forget to put one up? Yeah, I think it still might be 2, yeah. As I use the DVR memory in my mind to think if they've had another shot or not, but... This is Koner. And it'll be shielded there by Grossvenner into the hands of Martise Bright. I think that's the first time I've said his name outside of starting lineups today.
And if you're Dakota Fusion, that's a good thing. If not saying the goalie's name a whole lot, it means he's not very busy.
Yeah. Adachi on the far side here tried to chip it through, but it's deflected back by Turner. Loose ball. Ajabai will pick it up, get it to Runsvold. Runsvold will feed it up here in the direction of Parkinson. Or no, check that. That's Valet, excuse me. Valet inside. I think maybe somebody thought there may have been a handball, but no call. Play will continue. Adachi will touch up on it over on the far side there, being guarded by Quentin Olson. Adachi and Olsen fighting for it. Olsen will tap it out of bounds for a Fusion throw-in. So the Fusion will try and work from the far side there and out of bounds. And I believe a corner kick coming up here for the Fusion. But nice defense there by LC Aris. I believe that was Quentin Olsen, as he would make sure he, I can't say this for sure, but I think I caught him doing a glimpse to his left to see where he was at before he'd made that defensive move to make sure he wasn't inside that orange line on the far side there. As the corner kick comes in, Fusion aren't able to take advantage of that and be cleared out of bounds there by the LC Aris defense. More specifically, unknown player number 14. And a little tangled up there, and
you can hear the referee say, we're not doing that anymore tonight.
Heard that loud and clear in my headset. And if I heard it loud and clear and Eric heard it loud and clear, I'm pretty sure our viewers heard that loud and clear today too. So
yeah,
start looking for the cards here in the 42nd minute, I guess. So free kick here coming from about 40 yards out. It appears that Grossvenner will set up for it. And now it appears that he will not. Instead, it'll be Diego Valet. And Valet will put it right on and high over the crossbar, and that one will soar back to the whatever building that is. We'll call it a storage unit for now.
Huh. Well, if this was a different football, that one would be worth 3 points right there.
True. And for the very neutral viewer watching, you may think that LC Aris is on a home field with all the orange, but that's not the case. It is Dakota Fusion home field here at Jim Gata Stadium. Play host in the summer, at least this year anyway, to the Fargo Invaders summer football team, as well as the Moorhead Spuds. All their teams play on this field: softball, lacrosse, soccer, football. I might be forgetting about one. Or that's one sport I've never called, lacrosse. I don't know if I would know how to call that sport, to be honest with you. But
neither would I. I think my experience in that sport only extends to a unit in gym class.
You'd have to think that that sport's harder than it looks.
Oh, absolutely.
Yeah. I think I'd rather play soccer.
I would have to agree with you on that.
And then another sport that we have, I don't know if it's on the high school level, but I know that Minnesota State University of Moorhead has a rugby team.
Oh, wow.
Yeah, so I don't think that, like I said, I don't think that's in the high school, but rugby's another sport I haven't called. I know that I've been asked about if we could do some rugby games, and I'm like, I'm not opposed to it, but I just don't know what I'm doing. Do you know anybody who, and I'm not, just hypothetical asking there, do you know anybody who does it? Because if so, then I'd like to talk to them and or hire them to help us out with that sport. So
can't say I do, unfortunately. But that would be a pretty cool experience.
Well, if anybody talks to you about it, Eric, that's what you should say. Do you know anybody?
Absolutely, yeah.
There's a Dachi with a burst of speed on the far side. Centering pass there, and that one had a very tough angle on it, and the post was in the way again.
Yeah, well, I don't think Valet was 100% maybe expecting that ball to get to him. He turned on the jets there at the last second. That's maybe why he was a hair late on that one. I think the intended target might have been Pike in the middle, but another good chance right there for the Fusion right before halftime.
As we enter the 45th minute, well, been in it for about 30 seconds now. We'll have stoppage time coming up. I'm going to guess that we have 5 minutes. If I either didn't see the signal or or I missed the signal. So I think I heard somebody yell 1 minute. I don't know if you heard that, but
I didn't, but I'll take your word for it.
we're still going to go with 5. When the whistle blows, it's the end of the half. So
There you go. That can always be. I always wonder exactly how precise the referees usually are. They always have those stopwatches, but how much of it is just mental as far as calculating stoppage time? I have to imagine there's some sense in it.
And there it is. I think 1 minute may have been accurate. So your score at halftime here at Jim Gana Stadium, the Dakota Fusion 1 and LC Aris 0. We'll come back here after a short timeout with your halftime report after this here on Magnitude Sports. Be right back.
Hi, it's Dr. Tiffany Johnson from Healing Touch Chiropractic in West Fargo. What impact I want to make, how my office is different, how my niche is different. It is all about giving people hope and helping them believe that their bodies were made to heal.
Let me show you how your life can change through chiropractic at Healing Touch Chiropractic.
Looking for a new home? Make home happen by getting pre-qualified for free with Sean Carlson at Town & Country Credit Union. He'll help you find the best mortgage options for you and keep the process running smoothly from beginning to end. With a 97% satisfaction rate, awesome rewards, low fees, and great rates, it's clear why members love Town & Country Credit Union. Stop in or visit townandcountry.org to find out how you can become a Town & Country member today. Insured by NCUA, Equal Housing Lender. Go Promo is your go-to for custom apparel, screen printing, embroidery, and hundreds of other promotional products. Put your company logo on a t-shirt, jacket, calendar, mouse pad, pen, or even a backdrop display for an upcoming event. Possibilities are absolutely endless at justgopromo.com. You can also easily set up an online apparel store for your sports team or business. Email or call Twyla, and she'll set up the store, set up collection for online payments, and even deliver your products packaged and ready to go. Email her today, Twyla at justgopromo.com, or call 388-4852. Go Promo. Consider it branded.
In this place, we face obstacles like nowhere else. The clock, the trail, the hill, the challenge that's always waiting. When that challenge comes, we'll meet it together. Because it's your chance to show what you're made of. Tenacity, resilience, and the power to prove that the toughest competition comes from within. This is orthopedics and sports medicine like nowhere else.
Good sportsmanship. It will carry you further in life than sports. Growing up in North Dakota, I learned to respect my opponents, the coaches, and the officials. The values of fairness and teamwork carried me to the highest level in my sport and allowed me to live my dream of playing football in the NFL. It doesn't matter if you're on the stage, the playing field, or in the stands. We are all better when we show respect for others and practice good sportsmanship. Carry yourself with dignity. Being gracious makes the losses easier and the victories that much sweeter. So when the lights on the playing field, the stage, or the gym floor dim, you'll always have pride in yourself.
Looking for a new home? Make home happen by getting pre-qualified for free with Sean Carlson at Town & Country Credit Union. He'll help you find the best mortgage options for you and keep the process running smoothly from beginning to end. With a 97% satisfaction rate, awesome rewards, low fees, and great rates, it's clear why members love Town & Country Credit Union. Stop in or visit townandcountry.org to find out how you can become a Town & Country member today. Insured by NCUA, Equal Housing Lender.
All right, welcome back. We are at halftime here at Jim Gana Stadium on the Magnitude Sports Media Network. Mike Mason alongside Eric Tianson. Hope you're having a great day. And a 1-0 lead here for Dakota Fusion. It's their first and only lead of the season. If you're Dakota Fusion, you got to be pretty pumped, pretty happy with that first half of play. As you can see, nobody's on the field. The Dakota Fusion have gone into the shade and locker room in that building there to avoid the heat, and LC Aris is kind of in the dark shade over here. So since they're the only ones on the field, we'll keep the camera on them for the moment. But Eric, yeah, as I alluded to a moment ago, your thoughts on the first half?
Yeah, you hit the nail on the head right there. It's been a great first half for Dakota Fusion. I think above all else, it's a morale booster getting your first lead of the season. And on top of that, it's your leader, your captain, who gets the goal. He's probably got all the boys fired up as well if you're the Fusion. This next 45 minutes is going to be a challenge, though. They're going to have to defend this lead for another half of game right here. LC Aris, they only have 2 shots right now, but I have to imagine they're going to get some water in them, get in the shade, rest up a little bit. I think they'll be pretty fired up coming out here for half number 2. Wouldn't shock me to see them maybe use a few more substitutions as well. They're going to go down swinging, I think, and it wouldn't shock me if they tie things up here, make things interesting, and we could be in for a good second half and good end to this game.
Yeah, as we take a look, as we didn't really do this in our pregame because our pregame kind of got all flip-flopped and with everything that occurred, but if we take a look at the LCR schedule here, they tied Joyce St. Louis Park 0-0 on the opener, and then they would fall 4-0 to Minneapolis City in a 3-0 loss to the Duluth FC Blue Greens, and then a 3-1 loss to Med City. And right now, Med City and Minneapolis City, 2 undefeated teams in NPSL. If memory serves me correctly, I think they meet this week, so one of those winning streaks are going to come to an end. But they've certainly had a rough start, just like the Dakota Fusion have had. They will have the rematch against Joyce St. Louis Park on June 9th here following tonight's game with the Fusion. And then they'll have Sioux Falls Thunder at home on the road to take on the Crows in Minneapolis, and then back home to end the month of June against Med City. And then 3 dates in July on the road against Duluth and Sioux Falls. And then they'll get the rematch against the Dakota Fusion. To wrap up the regular season, they'll have the Fusion on their home field in La Crosse, Wisconsin, coming up on July 17th. So that's going to be a big game for both of these teams, especially if the Fusion hang on to this 1-0 lead that they've built so far. As we flip over to the Fusion schedule, and you can see there, as I hit a button to make it a little bit bigger for our eyes, but I'm sure it looks good on your end. They started the season with a 4-1 loss on the road to Joyce St. Louis Park, and that's the only other goal they've scored this year. Or check that, they've scored 3 goals now this year, as they would lose 6-0 to Minneapolis City, 4-0 to Med City, and then that 4-1 loss to Sioux Falls. And now they have a 1-0 lead here against LC Aris tonight. They have a Minneapolis City rematch coming up on June 9th, the game that Eric, you'll be here for. I'm in Jamestown with our baseball coverage, but Brad Anderson will have the play-by-play. Eric will be on the color and camera for that game against Minneapolis City. And then Duluth on the road at Duluth, back home against Joyce St. Louis Park on the 19th. And then the rematch with Med City Mayhem on June 26th to wrap up the month of June. And then Sioux Falls Thunder to kick off July. 3 days later, they are home against Duluth for the final home game and final magnitude broadcast, at least as of the regular season, on July 10th. And then they'll wrap up the season on the road against LC Aris with a 7 p.m. scheduled kick on July 17th. The women, they've only played one game so far. It was a 4-0 loss to Rochester back on May 22nd. They had a game against Maplebrook scheduled for last week. I believe it's May 29th. But that game was postponed. They rescheduled it for, it says May 29th there. It should say June 15th, if I believe. And I thought I had fixed that, but maybe I forgot to hit save. But and then we'll finally see the women's team on June 12th when they host Minnesota Thunder on a 6 p.m. kickoff here on Magnitude Sports. Brad Anderson will be on the call, and Cody will be on the camera for the game against the Minnesota Thunder on June 12th, as I'll be in Topeka, Kansas for baseball tournament. Eric, you're going to be in Minneapolis for youth football. We're all over the place on June 12th in this country. So I guess that's a good thing. It could be worse. We could have 3 games in 100-degree Fargo-Moorhead. So, but that's a look at your upcoming schedules for the Fusion men, women, and for LCRs. Once again, all of our games are available on demand at our website, msportsnet.com. If you missed any part of this game, you simply go to our website under the on demand button, click on archives, and you'll come to this screen right here. And you simply click the word watch next to the game that you'd like to see again, and it's one click, one tap access to your favorite game or the game that you missed here. Once again, we are at halftime here at Jim Gata Stadium. And it is 1-0 in favor of the Dakota Fusion as LCRs comes back out to their bench. And you can kind of see on the field there, the near sideline is now shadowed by the press box here, and the sun's kind of setting off to the north and to the northwest, I should say. Did I say that right? Yeah, I think.
I believe so.
Yeah, okay.
I'm no expert myself.
Yes, okay. My directions are not backwards here. Officials coming back onto the field on the far side there, and still waiting for the Fusion to come out of the locker room. So with that, we will take a timeout here, and we'll be back with the second half right after this. It's 1-0 Dakota Fusion on the Sean Carlson Town and Country Credit Union scoreboard, and we'll be back in a moment here on Magnitudes. Hang on.
Hi, it's Dr. Tiffany Johnson from Healing Touch Chiropractic in West Fargo. What impact I want to make, how my office is different, how my niche is different. It is all about giving people hope and helping them believe that their bodies were made to heal.
Let me show you how your life can change through chiropractic at Healing Touch Chiropractic.
Looking for a new home? Make home happen by getting pre-qualified for free with Sean Carlson at Town & Country Credit Union. He'll help you find the best mortgage options for you and keep the process running smoothly from beginning to end. With a 97% satisfaction rate, awesome rewards, low fees, and great rates, it's clear why members love Town & Country Credit Union. Stop in or visit townandcountry.org to find out how you can become a Town & Country member today. Insured by NCUA, Equal Housing Lender.
Good sportsmanship. It will carry you further in life than sports. Growing up in North Dakota, I learned to respect my opponents, the coaches, and the officials. The values of fairness and teamwork carried me to the highest level of my sport and allowed me to live my dream of playing football in the NFL. It doesn't matter if you're on the stage, the playing field, or in the stands. We are all better when we show respect for others and practice good sportsmanship. Carry yourself with dignity. Being gracious makes the losses easier and the victories that much sweeter. So when the lights on the playing field, the stage, or the gym floor dim, you'll always have pride in yourself.
In this place, we face obstacles like nowhere else. The clock, the trail, the hill, the challenge that's always waiting. When that challenge comes, we'll meet it together. Because this, it's your chance to show what you're made of. Tenacity, resilience, and the power to prove that the toughest competition comes from within. This is orthopedics and sports medicine like nowhere else.
All right, welcome back. Teams are on the field, and we're moments away from starting the second half here. It's Dakota Fusion lead LC Aris 1-0 on a goal in the 4th minute by Aaron Pike here on the Sean Carlson Town and Country Credit Union scoreboard. Mike Mason alongside Eric Tianson here once again, halftime. Getting ready to wrap up here, and maybe 1-0 in favor of the Fusion, but don't count LC Aris out of this just yet, as both of these teams looking for that first win. And I think the worst thing that could have happened here is this game ends in a tie for these two teams. Because, but I mean, I guess the worst thing that could happen is the team loses, but then the equally as worst thing that could happen is the two teams tie and neither one of them get the first win of the season. So we'll see what happens, though. This game certainly has the potential to end in a tie. We'll see how LC Aris comes out in the second half, as they'll get the first possession of the second half here in this NPSL Saturday. I wanted to say afternoon, but it's evening.
Temperature of the afternoon, that's for sure. Well, it's funny you say about teams maybe being excited out with a tie. I think one thing that kind of, I won't say cracks me up, but I always find interesting about the sport too, I think depends on the context of a tie. Let's say LC Aris ties this one up late. They score maybe with 2 minutes left. I think they'd be a little more fired up from that than, say, they score early on here in this second half and then can't quite break through and grab that winner. But that's just the psychology of sports sometimes, if you will. But we shall see what exactly transpires here, as LC Aris is going to look for that first breakthrough and at least tie things up, and the Dakota Fusion going to try and just hold on this lead right here.
Now they cleared away to the far sideline there, and that is Martius Bright. It's his first day on the roster playing the game for the Fusion, and I think he has 2 saves.
Yeah,
or maybe he's touched the ball 3 times in this first 46 minutes of play. It's like as I think you mentioned earlier, late in that first half, it's a good thing if you don't say a goalie's name a lot.
Yeah, I think you have to really credit this Fusion defense for making life easy for him thus far. You know, a lot of these defenders might recognize, hey, this is his first day on the roster, so let's give him an easy first day on the job here and be a brick wall for him. And thus far, I mean, pretty much what we've said, hasn't had to do too much, but we shall see.
Well, LC Aris looking to create an opportunity here, and racing over to the far side is Arno. Arno will be challenged by Selleck, and he'll drop it back, and now they'll put one in towards the top of the box there, where it's controlled by Cortez, and Cortez will fire one high and up and over. And that'll be a goal kick here for the Fusion.
I mentioned earlier in the first half we might see a water break in the second half. We'll see for sure, but it has cooled down a little bit as that sun starts to go down. But, of course, certainly wouldn't blame them for maybe taking a break, but we'll see how this game develops here.
Yeah, I took a trip to the concession stand during halftime, and you're exactly right. It is much cooler now than it was when I was down there during pregame trying to find out if this game was even going to be played or not. I would almost be tempted to invest the money into getting some wireless communication system between here and the field. For all of our games, not just the Fusion game, but for all of our games. So,
wouldn't that be something?
Adachi will toss it in for Ajabadi. Ajabadi will be pushed off the ball, and Ajabadi will push himself right back onto the ball and draw a whistle.
And he's not too thrilled with that call, but as we talked about earlier in the first half, referee's saying no more of that. I get a feeling we might be seeing a more tightly officiated second half here.
Yeah, I don't think it'll take 42 minutes to get the no more warning like it did in the first half. So as we approach the 49th minute of play. Yeah, I don't know about you, Eric, but this is it's been a fun game, but it's also been a long game, and I think it's just the temperature that makes it feel like it's been long.
Well, absolutely.
Yeah.
That and the late start as well. I mean,
that
45.
too, yeah. Yep.
Normally we'd be in the dying stages of a game right now, so that might have a little something to do with it too, but get to see a little more action under the lights as well, which pretty cool experience for us. And at least personally speaking, of course, I never played quite at this level. I was junior varsity high school. It's a little different, but
yeah,
when we got the chance to play under the lights, we all got pretty fired up, and that was a pretty awesome experience for us as well.
Adachi will touch up on it. It'll go out of bounds, and a little bit of extracurricular activity there, but no call. Or will there be a call? It looks like we will have a call here. And he's going to get a verbal warning. That's number 7. I don't have 7 on my roster. It's another one that wasn't on the original roster of the starting 11 there.
Almost seemed like the official might have just been like coaching him right there, saying like, you can't do that, do this instead. At least based off the body language and maybe a few snippets of that conversation I heard right there. That's a little interesting thing right there.
We're going to do a Adachi, and he apparently was not offside, according to the near side official, and I'll go out of bounds for another Fusion throw-in. Adachi trying to get around a couple defenders, somehow gets the deflection back, centers it in, and it gets passed. And I believe that might have been Pike.
I believe it was. He's got that armband on.
Yep.
Well, Adachi once again causing problems with his dribbling for LC Aris and their defense. And just couldn't quite catch that one right there. Couldn't quite get that perfect touch, was Pike. But as a consolation, they will get a corner. Good scoring opportunity right here for the Fusion. Looks like substitution as well.
Number 22, not sure who that one is. I only have the starting 11. And that one nearly headed in there by probably, couldn't quite, 20 was something, 20-something was the jersey number for the Fusion. I couldn't quite see who that was, but it was a good opportunity, but a missed opportunity. And now LCRS might have an opportunity here as Arnold sends it up. And that'll be a one-hopper. They'll be chested down there by Bright. Martise Bright.
Might have just been trying to catch the new keeper napping right there with that shot, but Bright up to the task with his chest.
Well, after getting 2 shots in the first half, you have to try and get more opportunities, and they may have to come from far out like that, and that may not have been a bad decision to try and catch the goalie off guard on a shot like that.
Absolutely. You can certainly do worse. And
they'll feed it up to Adachi, running up on it, and he has some space. Adachi centers it in, and it's cleared out. That'll be a corner kick here for the Fusion.
LC Aris really got to be careful down that right-hand side wing. Adachi been making runs up there a lot recently. He's been putting a few crosses in. He hasn't quite been able to find someone yet, but if I'm LC Aris, I'm going to be shifting a lot more bodies towards that right side defensively, because that's been where a lot of problems have been arising thus far.
On side of Jacob watching, and he's like, what was the final score? And, well, Jacob, if you weren't joining us earlier here, we had an interesting late start to this game. So as you watch now, you know that we are in the second half. But I also want to say thanks to Tracy. Number 14 is Mitchell Dryden for our RSLC. So we got one player, and that's Dryden right there, who takes it away. Puts it onto the foot of Pollenberg. And now Aris will work it up. And there's a breakaway. Here's an opportunity. And it's passed and tumbling forward. And he wanted a call, and he's not going to get one.
And I don't blame him, if I'm going to be 100% honest. I could totally see where he's coming from. That is probably about as close to 50-50 could go either way. But I can understand the frustration right there by, I believe that was Koner, as if they did call that one a foul, and if the referee had saw that one as a foul, wouldn't have shocked me to see a card right there for the keeper as well, as you could argue that was a goal-scoring opportunity. But looks like they let it slide right there, and well now,
yeah, it looks like they are setting up for the PK, and it appears that Lino Cortez will set up for it here.
Wow.
So he will get. He'll win his argument, and we're just waiting on the goalie here to take his spot in this. So a chance to tie it up here for LC Aris.
You want to talk about a first? How about a player appealing to the referee and winning?
Yeah.
You don't see that very often, but
indeed.
Got it right there. Looks like actually it'll be a free kick from just outside the box.
Oh, okay. So it will not be a PK.
But still a golden opportunity right here.
So I think there's two player appeals. One there. One, he wanted the foul. Two, the goalie's like it wasn't inside the line, and looks like they both kind of won a little bit there on that.
I'm not gonna lie. I was kind of mentioning earlier. I'm a little surprised that referee is calling it just a foul right there and maybe not pulling out the card, as maybe the play itself wasn't very egregious as far as physicality or harm, but you could make the argument denying a goal-scoring opportunity right there. That was a big chance right there for LC Aris, but as a consolation, they will at least get the free kick. Also looks like maybe the keeper is walking off the field now, maybe injury. And it looks like Rosado might be coming in, if I recall correctly, unless
he's wearing a different jersey number.
Yeah.
But yeah, it does look like Rosado. All the other goalies, yeah, I'm pretty sure that's Rosado. All the other goalies, I'm familiar with most of the players on the Fusion, not all of them, but I'm pretty sure that's Rosado in goal.
Well, how about this for a start?
So after a couple of conversations with the official here, we finally have a free kick, and it'll be taken by Kyle Pollenberg for LC Aris, and this is as good a chance as any for Aris to tie it up. We'll see if Rosado can keep this one out, or if they even put it in the direction of Rosado. Maybe they have some other trick up their sleeve here. And that one will be blocked, as it was actually taken by Arnold, and now it's out of bounds, and it'll be a throw-in from the far side here, I believe, for Aris.
Yeah, being a part of that wall is a thankless job, but they did it right there. Nice job to prevent the shot.
Yeah, that's Rosado. He likes to cover up the ball for extended periods of time. So that's officially Rosado. That's his style of goalkeeping right there. So once again, I want to say thanks to a couple of the fans on our YouTube chat there, filling us in with a couple of unidentified players. So thank you very much for that information. We've got it written in now. We should be good to go. And I think this might be a PK on this side.
Wow. Oh my goodness. So end to end right there, and I believe, yeah, he was pointing to the spot. They're gonna set up. And now a chance to make it 2-0 right here. This is a golden opportunity for the Fusion to really put their stamp on this game.
Yeah, I mean, just seconds ago, Aris had what appeared to be 2 opportunities to tie it, and now, just seconds after that, Adachi's going to set up for a PK.
Really is crazy how this game works sometimes.
As we enter the 59th minute here. So Adachi versus Asenzo. Adachi puts the right leg on it and puts it into the back of the net as Asenzo dives to his left, and it goes to the right, and the Fusion get the goal, and they're up 2-0 here in the second half.
Love the celebration as well. What a strike, and he is fired up. I believe that's Runsvold, actually. And what a way to make it 2-0 right there, as we talked about end to end. Looked like it might have been a
penalty kick scored by number 6, Noah Runsvold.
Oh my goodness. 2-0 now for the Fusion, and they double their lead, and also the most goals that they've scored in a single match thus far. So Fusion in a good spot now, and the hill just becomes a little bit tougher to climb here for Aris the rest of the way.
Well, they're certainly not out of it yet. Still about 30 minutes to play. But yeah, like you said, Eric, it's a little bit tougher now.
You can see maybe a little more sense of urgency in their step now. They're grabbing those loose balls quickly on the throw-ins. They know that they've got a lot of time, but they've got to take advantage of it.
And Rosado will take that one out of take away any opportunity that Arsis had on that attack, as we play in the 60th minute here. And now on the far side, it's Valet for the Fusion. And Valet with some nice footwork. Gets it around, feeds it up, but Essential will come out, stop it with his foot, pick it up, and fire it out with his right arm to the far side. That's he's my starting quarterback if if I'm on a football team. That was a pretty impressive toss there by Essential. I like that.
Yeah, these keepers, they use their hands and they use their arms. A lot of them can certainly hurl that ball pretty far.
Come up the far sideline. And out of bounds. And my vision's kind of blocked on that near end, especially at the throw-ins. And a whistle before the throw-in. And I think I just overheard him say water break. So take a short pause on the action once again in the upper 90s right now here at Jim Gata Stadium in Moorhead. And as they take a water break, we'll take a water break ourselves. And we'll be right back here in a moment on Magnitude.
Looking for a new home? Make home happen by getting pre-qualified for free with Sean Carlson at Town & Country Credit Union. He'll help you find the best mortgage options for you and keep the process running smoothly from beginning to end. With a 97% satisfaction rate, awesome rewards, low fees, and great rates, it's clear why members love Town & Country Credit Union. Stop in or visit townandcountry.org to find out how you can become a Town & Country member today. Insured by NCUA, Equal Housing Lender.
All right, welcome back. Second half of play here. So we try and keep track of everything. To backtrack a little bit here, Martius Bright is no longer in the game. He was replaced by Jan Rosado. As in that altercation down at the other end there, he would actually get red carded. So that's why he's out of the game.
And that just makes the goal on the other end for the Fusion all that much the crazier, as they essentially got that as a short-handed counterattack right there. And of course, now knowing that they're short a man might be not quite as steep of a hill for LC Aris, but still 2 goals to make up here.
Yeah.
But man, oh man, oh man, that makes that penalty all that much more important, and makes a lot more sense why he was leaving the field there. He didn't appear injured, and as I was mentioning earlier, I was surprised I didn't see a card, but...
Yeah, I didn't see the card either. It snuck by us, but I want to say thanks to our stat guy up here in the PA box for letting us in on that secret.
Well, and right now, the Fusion don't necessarily look like they're down a man right now either. They've still been pretty good with possession on the ball thus far.
Yeah, our cameras have a better view than we do from way up here. So if you're watching at home, you have a better view than we do. But we're doing the best we can to. And like I said, it's awesome that all these teams in the NPSL have clear to read jersey numbers. I would think that the Fusion might be the hardest team that we've seen here, and it's a good thing that they're the home team, because we get used to who's playing out there for the Fusion, so that matters slightly less. But kudos to LC Aris, kudos to Med City, kudos to the Sioux Falls Thunder. I might be forgetting somebody, but they all have easy-to-read jersey numbers, and we certainly appreciate that. It makes our job as broadcasters much, much easier.
Absolutely.
At the top of the box, there's Dryden. And a whistle coming here, and that's Selleck, I believe, who's getting... Oh, no, Selleck was standing behind it. It was Ajabadi who got the talking to. And
another big opportunity right here for LCRS. You have to imagine now with give or take around 25 minutes, of course. Well, I suppose maybe not take, obviously, but give maybe 25-ish minutes remaining in this game. It's a good chance to grab one right here. If they do grab one right here, up a man, this becomes an interesting match, I'll say that.
Well, this is an important free kick here. Oh, man, an even better defense by Selleck. Wow, I didn't even get to finish what I wanted to say, and like I was going to say, they needed to score a goal somehow, and Selleck just took the words out of my mouth defensively, like he took the ball away from the LC Aris.
Yeah, Selleck has been phenomenal thus far for the Fusion. He had the assist for the first goal, and defensive plays like that as well. He could make an interesting case for player of the game should this result hold, but big corner kick upcoming now, and I don't know, I get the feeling now the way this game has unfolded, it wouldn't shock me to see LCRS grab one within the next few minutes.
If not right here. Once again, that Fusion defense standing strong. So LCRS will track down the loose ball here onto the foot of Arnold. Arnold will scoot it up the near sideline there for Olsen, and now be punched away. Is that Adachi? Yeah, it is Adachi.
So, yeah.
Now Adachi will go up on man on Arnold, and Arnold will put the shot in the direction there of the dramatic Rosado.
And he's going to take his sweet time. He knows that those seconds can add up quickly, and they've got a lead to protect.
I say that in much respect. I say that with a bit of a comical touch to that sarcasm there. But yeah, if you're just joining us, as we've had a few people on our YouTube comment, LCRS got here at about 6:49, 6:47, something like that, as they had the bus issues. And then they left the hard copy of their roster on the bus. And according to NPSL league rules, the team needs to have a hard copy in order to play a game. So kudos to Sajid Gari, the owner/general manager for Dakota Fusion. Only lives about 6-7 blocks away. He went home. They sent him the roster via text message. He went home, printed out that text message so that LCRs would have a hard copy and that they could play. We almost did not have a game here today. We all got set up. We were all excited, and we almost were told to go home.
Yeah.
But I think I can't remember when did we get this game started? Like 7:30.
A little after 7:30.
Yeah,
I believe.
7. Yeah, something like that. Getting that one had to hurt. I mean, there was nothing done wrong there. The ball just took an awkward bounce right into his face, and he dropped to the ground immediately. And hopefully, he just got the wind knocked out of him, and it's nothing more serious than that. But he, as soon as that ball hit him, he dropped to the ground, and you can see that he's kind of holding his chest and his face area there as they go out to check on him, and hopefully it's nothing serious, and he'll be able to continue to play. I since he's laying down, I can't quite see who it is at the moment, but we wish him a speedy recovery here as the two teams will take advantage of this opportunity for a water break there, and some nice sportsmanship from the Fusion. As that is LCRs fans, if you can help us out. That's another one I don't have on my roster, number 7. Jacob, thank you for saying thank you. We're doing his job tonight. For those who don't know, he's one of the assistant coaches for the story I shared about head coach John Melendez earlier. He had a semifinal match against Fargo Davies. He's the head coach for Cheyenne, and the PA announcer for the Fusion is one of the assistant coaches for the Cheyenne Mustangs. And well, they had an interesting night last night. The semifinal match before theirs was under a 90-minute plus weather delay, and the Cheyenne-Fargo Davies game didn't get started until I believe it was 10:17 p.m. Tied 0-0 at the end of regulation, 39 seconds remaining in the first overtime. And the lights go out in the stadium because they're programmed to go out right at midnight. And then the game goes into a second overtime, and according to John Melendez, the game came to an end at 12:47 a.m., and the Mustangs had to play that next morning at 10 a.m. So forgot to update the scoreboard on the field there. We had it updated on our TV, and
well, I certainly can't blame you. We've certainly had our hands full here, especially you having to do double duty here today. So
at least I got the clock started. So.
Yeah.
For a moment, I thought the clock was stopped. I wasn't sure what he was pointing at, and then for a moment, I thought we had 2 minutes of stoppage time, and I was like, "What's the 2 for?" But yeah, the scoreboard now on the field says 2-0 instead of 1-0. So one bouncer, one hopper into the hands of Asenzo, and Senzo will roll it out. And LCRs will work it across midfield. And I'm just very happy that it is not hot anymore.
I would have to agree with that.
Okay, so apparently number 7 is Kyle Palmberg, Tracy. I had him on my roster as number 17. So if he's number 7, could you tell us who number 17 is? And I'll make the adjustment on my pencil written in roster. So maybe I made the mistake, but we'll go with what I trust her. So we'll go with that. Number 7 is Kyle Pallenberg. And then now we're looking for who number 17 is for LCR. So Azajabadi will send it in. And now the Fusion trying to split defenders. And was he onside? He was not. So take that shot / potential goal off the charts, and free kick here for LC Aris. They'll send it up. Adachi will send it into the middle. It'll be touched up there by Mitchell Dryden. They'll send it onto the foot of Arno. Arno will switch it over to the far side. And now Aris, and some tough contact there in the defensive play. I'm going to guess that's Selleck on the far side, and it is. He's probably the most aggressive defensive player on the Fusion, and you even if you can't see his jersey number, you know who it is just by the way he plays. So
I love it. He's tough as nails, and it's gotten him into trouble once getting that red card, but boy, when it works, it really works, and it's been working today.
So LC Aris here in the 74th minute, trying to create an opportunity here to pull within one, and once again, Rosado having no problems chewing up about 4 seconds of clock. I don't know what the official rule is on that before it becomes a delay of game, or if there even is a rule. I'm sure there is. I just don't know what that particular one is. So
yeah, when you watch soccer, usually up at higher levels, when they have a bunch of ball boys around grabbing new balls, you'll see keepers usually when the games get into the later stages, they'll fall on the ball, they'll sit on it, then they'll examine the ball and see if there's something quote-unquote wrong with it, then they'll grab a new ball, and that whole process can take a long time, and if you're too long with it, then yeah, you usually will get a delay of game or time wasting, as they sometimes call it. But I'll admit I don't know the actual time threshold for when the referee blows the whistle on that, or if it's just their own discretion. Might be something that I'll have to look up after this game tonight.
You don't have to look it up. You can thank Tracy. It's 6 seconds is the rule. Yeah. So
quick response. Thank you, Tracy. She has been on the ball tonight. I know we sometimes will give out player of the game, and of course we want to thank everyone for tuning in.
There's an opportunity, and it's going to roll wide. Falling down there is Valet. And he's slow to get up, and I believe it's Valet. Yep, it is. Yep. I think the official explaining why he's not going to award a PK to Valet there. And I would agree with that call, because I believe the contact was made just outside of the box, and the momentum took him inside of the box. So I think that was a great call by the official.
Absolutely.
It looks like, yeah, we have another. Oh, yeah, is that Valet or is that somebody else? He's like holding his midsection.
Well,
or no,
like
he's holding. Yeah. From a distance, he was holding. It looked like he was holding his midsection, but now he's holding his left leg just above his knee there. As the Fusion were getting set to take a corner kick, and then we saw Ajabadi with his arm around somebody, and it turns out to be Aaron Pike, and he'll be helped off the field, and hopefully he's all right. So corner kick still on the horizon here for the Fusion, leading 2-0 over LC Aris on the Sean Carlson Town and Country Credit Union scoreboard. And once again, whether you're an LC Aris fan or a Fusion fan watching, we hope that you're enjoying the broadcast today. And we know that the Fusion fans are probably enjoying it a little bit more here in the 78th minute. But there's still time here for LC Aris to do something. And a nice snag off the corner kick there by Asenzo. And Asenzo will boot that one down over midfield, and there'll be a 1-on-2 battle there for it, as Cortez will eventually come up on it. We'll have another whistle here, and I believe a free kick for the Fusion, I believe.
Yeah, I like that idea by Asenzo to just punt it right off the corner. Sometimes just the best opportunity to score, counterattack right off a corner kick, and they had numbers out there certainly for a little bit, but it looks like that foul will stop Aris in their tracks. But that was a good idea. They've still got roughly 12, maybe a few more minutes to work with here. They've got to grab 2 goals though here. We'll see if they can pull it off.
Well, we're going to have at least 1 minute of stoppage time, I would presume. And we'll see if they add on more. Hasn't been a whole lot of stoppage in here, but
it's true. It's worth noting only 1 minute in the first half, which was kind of surprising. You and I were both thinking it might have been in that 5-minute range. So
yeah. Well, and like I said, I don't know the official rule on water breaks and how they play a role into stoppage time, or if they even do, but this is our first game broadcast where we've had water breaks, so this is a new experience for us.
Yeah.
So. But in previous broadcasts, we've been spot on with our stoppage time guesses when the official would signal it up to us. But today was a different story. So, and here's a one-on-one race. And it's, oh man, a diving, I don't think he got his hand on it there, but man, what a bomb off the foot of Sam Coxon.
Yeah, that was inches away from being maybe one of the goals of the season right there. That was beautifully struck, and I think if that was on frame, the keeper was going to be beat right there. But of course, you ask most keepers, they'll say they know their posts. But regardless, Aris isn't going to care either way, as they've got a corner kick to deal with, but not another goal in the deficit. Looks like we'll have a substitution here as well. Looks like maybe just one change.
Checking in for the Fusion, number 21, Eric Fairlow, and for Aris, number 10, Lino Cortez.
And amidst those substitutions, the corner will be cleared out there by Aris. It's going to be resettled, though, by the Fusion. Nearly intercepted right there. Flying in was Brunsvold, who scored in the first half on a penalty, or excuse me, it was the second half
yeah,
actually.
Penalty kick, yep.
Early on in the second half. 1 goal in each half thus far in this game.
And taking it away there is Valet, and now we have a whistle, and we'll see what the end result of this one is. Valet will get back on his feet, and Runsvold will set it up for the free kick approximately 18 yards out from the near side of the outer edge of the goal box. And it just seems like every game this season, the Fusion have been a little bit better than they were the previous game. But we'll see, because they got a tough portion of schedule coming up here. So we'll see if that continues or if that's just a one-time thing here today.
Yeah, you could definitely see the improvement in the way this team has played. And obviously it reflects on the scoreboard, but this has certainly been the most complete and clean game that they've played thus far.
Yeah, I would absolutely agree with you there. Fusion, regardless of how the season plays out here in the remainder of the scheduled games for Dakota Fusion, Fusion fans have to be happy with this game here and how it's been played in the first 82 minutes. As Runsvold will set up for the corner kick, and he'll send it in, and it'll be headed out defensively there by somebody for the couldn't quite see. Oh, now that he turns around, I can tell you that it's number 22, who I don't have on my roster. So got one more sneaking in there. If we find out who that is, we'll give proper credit. Valet Ajabadi tried to send it in there, but it was deflected by another unknown, number 16. And now a corner kick here for, I believe that might be Adachi on the far side. And no, it's Runsvold, excuse me. As our awesome cameraman helps me out on that. Runsvold in, and it's chipped up over the crossbar and over the back line far side here. And there'll be another corner kick from the opposite side for the Fusion.
Well, and at the very least for the Fusion, they're just taking more time off the clock with these corners as well. Sometimes offense is the best defense, and might be a case of this right here. They just keep creating chances while milking some of that clock.
So Runsveld on his third corner kick in 30 seconds will set it up once again here. We'll see if the third one's a charm. That one's up high, has an opportunity, and it's into the back of the net! And it's 3-0 as Diego Valle scores the goal for the Fusion in the 84th minute. And number one in celebrations there.
Yeah. No kidding. Fired up, and another captain's contribution as Valle gets the armband after Pike
Your
goes
Dakota
off.
Fusion goal scored
what a
by
nice
number
goal right
10,
there. Sometimes you
Diego
just have to be in the right
Valle.
spot at the right time. That's exactly the case right there for Valle, and that might be Blouse's right there, as it's now 3-0 with less than 10 minutes remaining in this game. Now 2 shorthanded goals for the Fusion as well. They've done a fairly good job creating chances even with the one-man disadvantage.
Number 6 checking into the game here, and that's another one I don't have on my roster. If you're just wondering, if you're just tuning in, you haven't watched the beginning of the game, with the travel issues that they had, they were only able to provide us with the starting 11. So the broadcasters don't have any of the subs, but the officials do. So that we apologize to the LCRS fans, but we'll do the absolute best we can. And that one comes into the stands, and I didn't have to say anything. You would have known that. Our crowd might pick that one up rather easily. So it's 3-0 now, as I did not forget the scoreboard this time on the field. Sent in, and I don't know what your thoughts are on Eric, but I believe that that third goal may have just sealed the deal here for the Fusion. So.
Oh, absolutely. I think that LCRS, I mean, we have seen some crazy things happen in this game, but 3-0 is a pretty tough mountain to climb, even coming out of halftime. But now 85-30 now in this game. It's going to be nearly impossible, I'd say, but there's no such thing as a sure thing in sports. That's something I know for sure watching it, but I'd have to imagine if I was a betting man, that is the nail in the coffin right there. But free kick at a good spot right here. Very shootable distance, so they're going to get one back. They're going to have to get it right now. This might be the defining free kick. I'd say if this free kick doesn't go in, that would be the final nail in the coffin, probably.
Diego Arno. Yeah, one Diego scoring. Maybe the other one can score. And Arno will put it on goal. Rosado will dive, and he will punch it to the ground, and then he'll cover it up, so he gets 7 instead of 6 seconds.
Yeah, he must have been paying attention and listening to us. Got to be reminding himself, hey, can't go over 6 seconds, and a nice job right there.
And that long ball will be touched up there by Galiletti for LCRs. And a near takeaway, I believe that might have been either, I'm going to go with Runsveld, as Adachi has it up on the far side and out of bounds for, I believe, an LCR's throw-in, if I'm not mistaken. And a nice getting around the defender there was, I was looking at the wrong roster, but
like a card going to be shown right here for the foul. Didn't point to the spot, so I think it'll be just outside the box, but a late yellow card here on the Fusion, it looks like.
He hasn't officially put that card up in the air. I don't know how far he has to put it up in the air to make it official, but looks like they're going to call in the medical staff here as they will check up on Lino Cortez here for LC Aris. Once again, to recap so far, Aaron Pike scoring to make it 1-0 on an assist from Hussein Selik. Aaron Pike, the captain, will make it 1-0 in the 4th minute of play. It would stay that way until halftime, and then in the second half, it would be, let's see here, did I forget to write that one down? I might have.
Well, I believe the second one was
a PK by Noah Runsville, but I didn't write down the time on it to make it 2-0. So unknown time on the second goal. And then in the 84th minute, Diego Valle would score most recently to make it 3-0. And that third goal just took the wind out of the sails here for LC Aris. They might be able to create, and they keep getting these opportunities here, but it seems like the defense always steps up big time here for Dakota Fusion on these great opportunities for LC Aris. Something that we have not seen this season from the Fusion. So it certainly catches us by surprise. At least me. I can't speak for Eric, but I can speak for myself.
I'd have to agree.
And that one will be curved far side. Far post missed it. And couldn't quite get the bend he needed on that one to slip it inside the far post, and it'll remain 3-0.
It looks like we'll have 6 minutes of added time here as the referee putting up 6 fingers. So we will see a lengthy extra period here in this second half. Nearly another foul right there. Nice little spin move. Clipping the feet.
Sorry, Eric.
Oh, you're good. That's pretty much all I had to say.
I think that's a Dachi on the far side, and based upon his dribbling technique, I'm pretty sure I'm right. And they'll drop it all the way back here. And now they'll try and work it back up. Middle of the field, through ball. Adachi chasing after it, and he's onside, and he's got some space. And he'll try and center it in, but nobody there, and it'll be touched up on there by the LCR's defense. And a missed opportunity for the Fusion, but a great stop defensively there for LCRs on the flip side of that scenario too. And another through ball. This one will escape and get up to Senzo, no problem. Once again, in stoppage time here, approximately 6 minutes, according to our official at midfield in the blue. Thank him for signaling that one up here, and now we have a yellow card issued here for and lucky for him, we don't know what his name is, so. But his case is that he didn't even touch him.
Yeah, you could hear that one.
Yeah, so I don't know. We'll leave that one up to the official to debate over, and we'll move on with the broadcast here. And it looks like Selik will set up for the free kick here. And Selik will send it in towards the top of the goal box, and that one will be headed out, touched up there by LCRs, and now will be... Couldn't match the jersey number with my roster there. Ooh, and a takeaway. Runsville able to get a foot on it there. And now Sam Coxon. And a whistle coming up here. And I think we're going to have a free kick for the Fusion as Coxon is slow to get up. Coxon, he brought some spark and life to the Fusion in the first couple games of the season. Then he kind of went quiet, and now he's showing up here again against Aris. So,
yeah, he's been fantastic for the Fusion today. One of the many players, honestly, that have been pretty good for the Fusion. As mentioned earlier, they've had a nice complete game and should go down as a nice team win for them.
So they'll set up for the free kick just on the upper near corner of the goal box here. Jacob Holtz into the lineup, snuck in without me noticing. He'll set up for the free kick. And that'll be sent in, headed up over the crossbar. Goal kick here for Aris, but a nice positive effort there by the Fusion on that free kick opportunity. Step over to the side a bit here, so the window is blocking my view. They'll get it back here to Cortez. Cortez with a nice little move to get Coxon off his feet. Out of defensive position. And now Aris from the far sideline will work it up in the direction there of Arnold, and it's past Rosado and just to the left of the post. And I'm guessing, did Rosado touch it? Yeah, he did.
Yeah, good eye by the referee right there. Those can be hard to catch sometimes.
So it'll be a near side corner kick here for Aris, and they'll work the ball along the near sideline here as Arnold has it. And now he'll get it onto the foot of Palmberg. And once again, I want to thank Tracy for the clarification on if he was 7 or 17. So, once again, we're about in the 3rd or 4th minute of stoppage time here of 6, according to our midfield official. Now it'll be cleared away by the Fusion defense. And offsides. He was way offsides on that one by about 6-7 yards probably.
Yeah. Not all offsides are created equal. I talk about that can be the hardest call in this sport, but that one was a pretty easy one.
So Arnold will work the ball along the near side here and get it up to his teammate, Olsen. It's deflected off his foot, and Olsen will toss it back in on the throw-in. Olsen will get it back. Now he'll center it in. And at the top of the goal box, it's headed by Selleck defensively, and Selleck charging in to keep that ball going the other direction here. And now it's a race back to it as they'll drop it back to Arshenzo, but that will be it. The Fusion pick up the win here. 3-0, and they get improved to 1-4 on the season, while Aris will drop to 0-4-1. And a great showing here by Aris, but the Fusion just a little too much for him here today.
Yeah, it was an all-around great team win. The Fusion getting that early goal, and then you add 2 more here in the second half. And what a way to get your first win of the season if you're the Dakota Fusion, is you get off the schneid, and now you hope you can build off that. And like you said, certainly wasn't a bad showing, to say the least, by Aris. They hung tough, and to imagine they'll try and go back to the drawing board now and see if they can do what the Dakota Fusion did here and get their first win of the season come next week.
Your final score, Dakota Fusion 3 and Aris 0. We want to wish our friends from Aris safe travels back home, and congratulations to the Fusion picking up their first win of the season.
All right, well, as we take a look here at the upcoming schedule here for Aris with the loss today to Dakota Fusion, they will head back home and have a rematch against Joyce St. Louis Park, the only team that is responsible for that one tie on their win-loss tie record. And then they'll have a home game, back-to-back home games. As the second half of that home stretch will feature the Sioux Falls Thunder. And then they go on the road, take on a road/home match, probably the toughest 2 games of their whole season, back-to-back against Minneapolis City and Med City. At the moment, both of those teams are undefeated, but I believe those teams played tonight. So I'd have to double-check the NPSL schedule. But one of those teams, if they didn't play tonight, they're playing very, very soon, and one of those undefeated seasons are going to come to an end. And then a double road game there against the Duluth FC Blue Greens and Sioux Falls Thunder, and then they'll wrap up the season here. They'll get another shot at the Dakota Fusion on July 17th here on not here on Magnitude, but back home in La Crosse, Wisconsin, as we get a live look at the victorious Dakota Fusion. And I don't know about you, but if I was on that soccer field, I'd just be happy that I get some water.
Yeah, no kidding.
Let's take a look at the Fusion schedule now. With the win today, they will see if they can, it's going to be tough, but they'll see if they can duplicate that performance against Minneapolis City, and then they'll be on the road at Duluth, back home here on Magnitude against Joyce St. Louis Park on the 19th. Then they'll get a rematch against Med City on the 26th to wrap up June, skip ahead into July on the road against Sioux Falls, and then home against Duluth here on Magnitude on July 10th, and then on the road to wrap up the regular season on the 17th against LC Aris. Our next game will be on June. I don't think that's right. I don't think June 6th is against Maplebrook Fury. I don't think the women have a game tomorrow. I don't think anybody has a game tomorrow. So, but we'll see the women for sure on June 12th when they take on the Minnesota Thunder. And then we'll see him again on, and once again, that's incorrect there, May 29th. But it's actually, I don't know what it is, to be honest with you. But go to our website, msportsnet.com. I know it's right on there. So I want to say like June 15th or something like that. But anyways, whenever that game happens to be, we'll have it for you here on Magnitude. Eric, your final thoughts on this one before we wrap up the broadcast tonight?
As I said earlier, great all-around team win for the Fusion. They got their early goal. They protected their lead well in the second half. I think certainly their most complete game of the season, as we were talking about earlier. They've seemed to have improved each game thus far. Must have gone really hard in practice these past few weeks, as they looked a lot cleaner too. Their midfield, a lot more crisp with their passes, weren't giving the ball away as much. Their defense did a good job preventing opportunities, and I think the return of Selleck was a big boost for the Fusion as well. He picked up an assist, and he had a few fantastic plays in defense. All around, good things going for the Fusion. And then for LC Aris, well, like you said, they'll get a chance to maybe try and do what the Fusion did here next week and get their first win of the season, as they certainly didn't look bad. I know we talked about it. It wasn't a bad showing from them. They just seemed to not quite always get that finishing touch on some of their chances. They had a few set-piece opportunities that they couldn't quite convert, but those are things you can fix in practice as well. And
yeah, definitely.
Wouldn't shock me to see a different LC Aris next week.
Well, we took a look at these two teams' schedules. Let's show you what we got coming up here on Magnitude next. As we take a look at our schedule, we'll be back on Monday for the North Dakota Softball All-Star Series, games 1 and 2 in Bismarck. And then games 3 and the skills competition in Castleton on Tuesday. I'll be in Bismarck on Monday. Eric will be in Castleton for Tuesday for the second half of that Indy Softball All-Star Series. I'll be in Park Rapids, Minnesota for, it's not a state track meet, it's actually a Section 8A track meet. But we'll have coverage of the running events there in Park Rapids for the Section A track meet. And then back to soccer on June 9th when the Fusion take on Minneapolis City. We'll also open up our Legion baseball portion of the schedule as we'll travel to Jamestown, as Post 14 will host the Post 400 Stars. Those two teams always play each other in the opening every single year, and it's usually always in Jamestown. And one of the, I think I was talking to you about this earlier, Eric. One of our records, if you go to our records section on our website for baseball, most runs scored in a half an inning happened between Jamestown and Post 400, a game that was played in Fargo. Jamestown led 4-0 going into the fourth inning before Post 400 Stars put up 16 runs in the bottom of the fourth inning. They ended up winning that game by the final of 16-4. So we'll see how that matchup shakes out in that doubleheader coming up on Wednesday. You can dig deeper into that schedule at msportsnet.com. Find out when the Fusion are playing next and Post 400 and all the other cool teams that we provide broadcast coverage for here on Magnitude. Your final score once again here from Jim Gaddis Stadium in Moorhead. The Dakota Fusion improved to 1-4-0 on the season with a 3-0 victory over LC Aris, who dropped to 0-4-1 on the season. For the Aris fans tuning in, we thank you. And we know it wasn't the result you're looking for, but we thank you and we hope you enjoyed the broadcast. And for the Fusion fans, we know that there's a few smiles on their faces tonight. So we'll be back on June 9th for the Fusion men versus Minneapolis City. Brad Anderson will have the call on that one, as I'll be in Jamestown, as you just saw on our schedule. Eric Tianson will be here to provide the friendly voice and work the camera once again. Eric, great job on camera tonight. I always appreciate your hard work. And for our viewers, thank you for watching. We appreciate your patience as we got the late start here tonight as we approach 9:41 p.m., a game that usually comes to an end by about 8:30. So, but once again, your final score 3-0 here in favor of the Dakota Fusion. That'll wrap it up for Eric and myself. We'll talk to you next time here on Magnitude Sports.
The proceeding has been a presentation of the Magnitude Sports Media Network. Follow us on Twitter, Facebook, subscribe to our YouTube channel, and to order a DVD copy of this broadcast, simply visit msportsnet.com/DVD.